Well, hey, Courier Nation, welcome to the business tip of the day. Now, if you're one of the maybe 4 people, I think, that were subscribed back when I was doing my business tip of the day videos a couple of months ago. You were used to something a little more produced. You didn't actually get an actual video of me, just my voice with music in the background, little doodle sketches going on at that time. And I'll tell you what, those are fun to do. There were some things, I was kind of proud of those things, but they took a lot of time. And I'm trying to do a lot of things between the website and the podcast and getting enough deliveries in and doing other things in life and giving enough time to my family. And so it finally came to an end. But I do have time to do this in between deliveries, so we're just going to do it raw like this. So my business tip of the day today is develop a business owner's mindset. Accept the idea that you are a business owner. Embrace the idea that you are a business owner and think like a business owner. Now, I know that there's a lot of naysayers out there that are going to tell you you're not really a business owner. I see it all the time. I see it in forums and stuff like that. You get some very bitter people that are like, yeah, no, you're not a business owner. And sometimes they're kind of like the crab in the bucket, where if you've ever seen where a crab's trying to crawl out of a bucket, the other crabs reach up to pull it back out. And that's the way I think a lot of people are on Facebook and different things like that. But they say, oh, you're not really a business owner. But they're going to make some compelling arguments, And I heard this all the time, especially from people that were outside of what we did. There were a lot of people trying to fix things for us back when AB5 was going through. And, they'd tell you, well, you're really not business owners, so you need to get this fixed because you're just deluded. I'm not deluded at all, guys. I know exactly what I'm walking into when I do this, but they made some arguments that you got to think about them. One of them is you don't set your prices. These companies set the delivery fees, and you can't do a thing about them. And they'll tell you that you don't really set your schedule, especially Doordash and GrubHub, because you got to do schedule blocks, and so you got to get into some of those. So you don't have as much freedom as you think, and you don't go out and you don't advertise for customers or anything like that like a business does. And the bottom line is that GrubHub, Doordash, Postmates, ubereats, all of these companies are just taking advantage of you anyway. All they are doing is calling you independent contractors, but trying to bring in really people that are employees and do employee stuff, just not paying you fairly, right? And I tell you what, when you look at all those different arguments, I got to be honest with you, every single one of those points is correct. It's on the money. It's true. It doesn't mean you're not a business owner, though. That's the point that they miss, is none of those things define whether or not you're a business owner. There are a lot of those things that are maybe common things for businesses, but they're not universal. Here's the deal. Most businesses have no control over their pricing, or very little control. The market controls their pricing. If you charge too much, the market says no. If you charge too little, everybody will buy, but you go under because you're not making any money. So there's a certain range almost that you got to fit your pricing into. You don't set your own schedules when you own a store. I had a friend actually that kind of did that. He ran a coffee shop. And it wasn't intentional, but a lot of times there were some health issues and some personal things, and they were closed a lot. And so he went out of business because of that, because he could never gain any consistency in his customers. And the problem, when I was in telecom, we had to set our schedule basically Monday through Friday hours, because that's when most of our customers were open, because we were selling to businesses and that's when they were open. So, you don't always set your own schedule. And ultimately, even when you're running a business, your customers are going to try and take advantage of you. The difference, though, and this is the point, this is why it is so important that you got that business owner mindset, is, you know what? It doesn't matter if the customers are trying to take advantage of you. If they take advantage of you and you're still okay with the amount of money that you made, what does it matter, right? And And ultimately, too, the other point about it is, if you want to avoid being taken advantage of, you got to claim your rights of being a business owner. You still have the right to choose. And in fact, I'm going to tell you one thing. Out of all of those arguments, the one that carries the least water is that you don't set your own prices. You absolutely set your price. You better be anyway. Personally, for me, I set my price. You'll hear me talk about this a lot, the 40-cent rule. If that delivery is going to give me 40 cents a minute, I'll take it. If it doesn't, I'm not going to take it. And that's how I set my price. And here's the thing, though, is you have something that most businesses are never going to be able to say that they get, and that is this thing of business just being thrown at you. You have business opportunities that are just given to you. They're handed to you. You don't have to go out there and seek it out. And you don't have to go out there and bid on it or anything. You just get this, you want to do this delivery for $5? No? Okay. How about this delivery for $12? Oh, awesome. All right. And you can't do that with most businesses. That's something that you don't get with a lot of them. And the thing is, though, is you get to say no. You get to say yes. You get to say, I'm not going right now. You get to say, I'm going to do it my way. And there's not a thing that any of those companies can do about it. And the thing is that if you listen to these idiots out there that are going to tell you that you're not a business owner, that's when you're going to get taken advantage of. Because then you just get into this mindset that you got to do whatever they tell you to do, which is a bunch of bullshit, okay? You get to choose. You get to make the decisions. And when you decide that you are going to take control, then you are really being the true business owner. And then you avoid being taken advantage of. You are taking control and not them. So Courier Nation, remember this business tip. Develop a business owner's mindset.